Hello, folks, and welcome to another exciting Deep Space Nine commentary for Season 1. This time it's the episode Progress, or if you're Canadian, Progress. And today I'm joined by Marcelo and Earl Grey Trekkie, aka Robbie. Shit, other way around. You're really Robbie, but aka Earl Grey Trekkie. Did that last time. So, gentlemen, how are you guys doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
It's a day before Halloween. Happy Halloween. Wink, wink.
Yeah, there's pumpkins all around at my street.
Yeah, it's like pumpkins and Halloween stuff everywhere. Even if this, like, it's been around for a month now anyway, because they start Halloween like a month and a half early now. You got all the Christmas stuff in the stores now. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah,
let's queue up our episodes.
yeah. I'm getting end of the year anxiety, like you can't believe.
Yeah, I know. It's getting cold. November's just right around the corner. That new Chucky show is crazy. Prodigy. Let's not talk about Prodigy right now. We're here for Deep Space Nine.
Yes, we are.
Not saying good or bad. Well, I'm not going to reveal my opinion about what I think about Prodigy, and neither will these two guys because we want to focus on Deep Space Nine right now. So let's queue up our episodes and do the 3-second countdown. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
3, 2, 1, go. Someone's playing cards. It's Jake. And Nog. Ugh, yammock sauce. It sounds fishy. Wait, does Nog like that Cardassian food?
No, I think this is the episode where he tries to turn a profit on Quark's non-interest.
Oh, okay. I spoke too soon because I thought his look of concern was about like, oh, I like that stuff. Don't get
No.
rid of it.
Is this the one where they try to capitalize on land?
I can't remember. I only remember the main plot with Kira and the old man. And I barely remember that.
Wait a minute. Is this one where Kira has to stay on that planet with the old guy who refuses to evacuate? Or does
Yeah.
that come later?
It's one of those deals. Like, you got to get out of here. I won't leave. Type of deals we've seen like in many things, not only Trek. Wouldn't free energy be a thing, like a way of just generating constant power on any given planet?
I guess so, but I think the human race would find something to fight over, even if like this version of the future was so perfect. Us
Yeah.
as human beings would find a way to fuck it up, basically.
I like Kira and Dax's friendship, but I wish it had been developed a bit more.
Didn't pass the Bechtel test just then because they were talking about a man. I think it's like, damn it! Can't two women have a conversation where a man isn't involved? Damn it!
Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts about Jessie Dax. She's my favorite character in all of Star Trek, so that should tell you everything
Yeah,
that we know in
I
a few
got thoughts
seconds.
about her too.
Yeah, we all have thoughts about her.
But I mean, Kieran Reese, she's like, she's so tough.
Yeah.
I don't know, something about that. I don't know, something about that. I don't know.
Plus we
Sopranos is rubbing off on me.
yeah. Plus we established in our past commentaries that Kira Nerys has like the sexiest walk ever. She has that sexy boss walk.
Okay, we're getting a little too heteronormative right now, uh, and that's offensive. No, I'm joking.
I digress. I digress.
Awkward silence.
Positive thoughts, guys. Positive thoughts.
Yes, people are attractive. Human beings can be attractive. Is that such a sin, people? The old man, if I remember correctly in this episode, reminded me of Johnny Cash, and I don't know why. I'm going to have to look him up. He's not Johnny Cash, but wouldn't it be interesting if Johnny Cash was in an episode of Star Trek?
That would be so interesting. He'll be like, "Hi, everybody. I'm Johnny Cash."
He'd be like the McCoy who was racist against Vulcans or something.
Yep, but he would have to wear a Starfleet uniform that was all black, and he would have to have those. He would have to have those Commander O shades.
Hmm.
It could be in a TOS Western.
I like that Iggy Pop is in DS9 at one point.
As
Is
a
he?
Jem'Hadar?
Yeah.
No, not. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, not a Jem'Hadar, the Wayun
Vorta.
species. A Vorta, yeah.
Oh, look at you guys dropping knowledge. I had no idea. Now I have something else to look forward to.
Terrence Evans is his name. Let's look at Terrence Evans. Oh, he died in 2015. Oh, never mind. No. Terrence Evans is the guy who is standing behind her. So I'm getting him confused. They just showed the name of the older man.
So this guy's already passed away then.
Jesus. I'm a good old-fashioned Southern Bajoran. It's a pretty elaborate makeup job.
But yeah,
Shaking
that's
his jigsaw suit.
jigsaw.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant to say Brian Keith is the name of the older man, but he died in 1997, just a few years after this episode.
Oh, wow, that's Unfortunate.
Don't really know him from anything.
No.
Did a lot of westerns, which I could have guessed.
Yeah. That is a horrendous uniform that Jake is wearing, or a onesie. Whatever the hell.
And it's like, can't you replicate yamak sauce? What's the need to have actual real food products? I don't know. I don't get that.
Yeah, well, maybe the yemek sauce has this like key ingredient that can't be replicated, or the replicators can't replicate easily.
And that's
Right.
another thing about replicators. What constitutes what's irreplicatable or not? If the whole idea of matter resequencers basically are like just taking matter at the subatomic level and reconstructing it, it's tricky. It's another thing with like some Trek, I won't say which show, talks about like how lower decks people have like a crappier computerized menu on the replicators, and it's like that's a weird thing about, that's a weird elitist kind of thing I don't get. It's like if a computer can just make anything, then just why can't everybody have access? That was the whole thing about TNG, is like when people from the past were like fascinated with everything. Oh, you can replicate a guitar, and you can replicate like, drinks and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Yeah.
this guy's like Kirk in his cabin in Generations, and she's like Picard, like you've got to come with me. You got to get out of here. He's like, well, have something to eat. Stir up the eggs.
Millibok, the old man, might disagree with Kira, but he's actually been quite accommodating.
Did you hear that? That they don't talk at all. The Cardassians took care of that. Like they fucking removed their voice boxes or something.
No, the Cardassians took her tongue out.
Oh. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, those Cardassians, don't piss them off.
You know what? If there was ever, some people complain about how modern Trek is kind of nihilistic and graphic and dour and stuff. The perfect excuse to be like that and be Star Trek at the same time to some degree would be to have a show that involved looking at the occupation.
You wanted to make me angry.
Just imagine if you saw that in detail in a show. That would be like fucking hard R stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It would almost be unwatchable. I mean, I would never do it, obviously, but even if you did a flashback, like modern day show, Star Trek show, and you did a flashback to something within the occupation with Cardassians and Bajorans, some sort of violence, it would not be pretty, because the Cardassians are made out to be, at least from the Bajorans' point of view, from a lot of them, very barbaric and sadistic. You got some of that in Chain of Command, like, holy shit, some of these Cardassians are like fucking, they enjoy inflicting pain. It's like
what about a short mini series having to do with the Cardassians and the Bajorans leading up to the occupation?
it's an interesting idea. It's just something that they would never do, because it's like, why?
Right.
Unless like they had some banging good script that had like, but it essentially would have to be something that would not involve Starfleet.
Right.
It would just be a Bajoran Cardassian thing and other aliens.
Even if it was written well, I think I prefer imagining what happened.
Because sometimes that's worse, right, Robbie?
Yeah, sometimes.
Well, you get hints. You get that Odo flashbacky episode when Deep Space Nine was under Cardassian rule during the occupation. You get a sense of what it was like, especially like how they treated Bajoran women, which is fucking scary.
Definitely inappropriate how they did that.
Especially in that episode when, Kira finds out that her mother was, had a fling with Ducat.
Oh, spoiler alert, man! I'm not even at that
Oh,
point
no,
in the
no,
show
no.
yet. Oh no!
Oh my my god. The world is gonna just stop turning.
Now, see, I don't understand why a form of punishment for Ferengis would be to grab a child's ear, because they've
Well,
established what that area is all about. So it's almost
yeah,
like grabbing somebody's junk.
yeah, but but with that same logic, it's logical that
If
Cork
it's
would
sensitive,
know
it would.
just how to twist that sensitive area of
Yeah,
his lobes to make it actually hurt. Because as males, we can do that.
and it's interesting how like the foam latex looked like an air because the way he was holding it, didn't look like. The thing with the makeup is that it looks very stiff, and
Mhm.
as it should, I suppose, in some degrees, but you have to kind of use your imagination to say that, like, oh, that prosthetic forehead is actually a real forehead that can flex and the skin can move over the bumps, which it never does. And it's the same with all the any kind of prosthetic makeup, where
Right.
it's literally just things caked onto a person's face, and it's literally impossible to have it be 100% realistic without, or realistic looking without some sort of CG assistance or something like that,
Mhm.
or a complete CG kind of replacement thing, which I think
Yeah.
they're going to be doing in the next 10 years for everything prosthetic related. It's just going to
Really?
be, it's going to be an actor on set with dots on their face, and they literally put the prosthetics in later. They do like a face replacement thing with the same actor, but with the makeup on. I mean,
Huh.
for the past 10 years, apps on phones could do that with your face to a very low quality degree. But as things are moving along now, it's becoming much, much almost more cost effective to go the digital route in some areas than you would practically.
Right.
It would be interesting if the Ferengi ears could have moved like Andorian antenna in Enterprise.
I guarantee, I think if you ever saw a modern looking Ferengi, there would be a redesign to it. I hope they don't go too far, but I think you would see like ears flexing maybe. Something to say like this clearly looks like a Ferengi. We know it's a Ferengi. Don't do the Tellarite thing and completely redesign it, but just make it so that, because real Ferengis, when you think about it, they would look a bit more gruesome than they actually do. Especially the older ones, like the Negus. Like he always looked pretty like rancid to me, right?
Decrepit. Yeah, he looked pretty
But if that
decrepit.
was like modern makeup, it would look so much more unappealing.
Mhm.
Miss the fun. Oh, what the hell?
I think Kira gets the most development in season 1, just um, between Emissary, Duet, and Progress.
Mhm.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
give a little bit to O'Brien, and Bashir and Judzi are kind of like,
Yeah.
they're very
But
much side characters in the background for most of the season.
yes, I would definitely agree with Robbie on that one. The line share of the character development goes to Kira Nerys in the first season, but the thing that I love about that is that even when she's shown evidence of her terroristic behavior, she finds ways to uh, um, um, she finds ways to justify her terrorist behavior in those conversations that she has with all types of characters throughout season one.
She tries to justify it, but then she also becomes close with Cardassians, so she does go on a journey throughout the whole show.
Right.
Self-sealing stem bolt. Where have I heard that before?
So,
They're so naive.
now, wouldn't you lock the door?
It wouldn't matter. He would have authorization to open it anyway.
That's true.
I wonder if this is the next day or something because Jake's outfit has changed.
Yeah. Did it bother either of you that, Deep Space Nine or Star Trek in general, for that matter, didn't really do a great job of indicating how many days pass in any given episode?
Not really.
No, I mean,
It's not necessary, right?
it's something about like older television, especially in the hour formats, where almost anything that occurs is over 1 to 3 days, and that's pretty much it. Sometimes you'll be like, okay, a week has passed or something, but yeah, and the star dates don't help because like Captain's Log star date. Well, I don't know how many weeks away that was from the last one. Like, so you just kind of have to just guess a lot of times.
Right.
But usually with the passage of time, in anything, like they try to indicate some way besides actually telling you. For example, there's an episode of Lower Decks there's a caption that says 2 weeks later or something, but in the Canadian version that aired on Crave, there is no caption. So I found out later because I was like, how did the Cerritos do their? It's about the buffer time episode.
Okay.
Where the captain makes them work really hard, and they're working really hard, and here when I watched, I was like, well, how much time has passed? Was it like a day, a week? Is it a month? I didn't know. And then Starfleet Boy was like, oh, it's 2 weeks. I'm like, how do you know? He's like, because it says 2 weeks later. I said, and he actually showed me it on his phone. Like, I was like, oh, that same shot. There is no caption. It says 2 weeks later. It's like they assume the Canadian audience didn't need the caption or something. I don't know. I don't know about the international version, Robbie, but
yeah.
But anyway, we're talking about another show. But yeah, I don't know how we got on that. How?
No, it was my fault.
Well, at least now we're making progress.
I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this when they've been ushered out of their homes by big companies.
Yeah. It's a common theme in things.
It's very relatable.
There's a whole thing in Better Call Saul where I won't talk about details, but a character has to make somebody move off a property, and it's very difficult. And a big company has like, you got to get them out of there, but the person technically they have a right to be there, but big companies like this actor, by the way, is the guy who tells Wesley off in the Academy episode. The guy that Wesley has to tell off because their species respects that. The big guy who intimidates him. And Wesley's like, yeah, shut up you, or whatever he says.
Oh, wait, so he was like one of those, one of that little annoying duplicating species in Lower Decks? Or like, no, this is stupid.
No. The tall Bajoran guard guy was in an episode of TNG, first season episode, where Wesley Crusher goes to Starfleet Academy.
Mm-hmm.
And a big dude confronts him. and Wesley tells him off, and it's a test to see
Oh,
if like
okay.
yeah.
Okay, I
I
got it.
forget the name of the species, but yeah,
Sorry, guys. I sidetracked us again. My apologies.
it's hard to remember like details, little details, but
Yeah.
I think this is the first episode where Kira really becomes she completely supports Starfleet, because I think earlier on in the season, if she had had to do this, she might have sided with the Bajoran. She might have not wanted to do what Starfleet has demanded of her.
Mm.
he's confronting her and she's like pulled between both sides.
Yeah.
And Cisco puts her in her place in this episode.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's right. But to be fair, I would have just, yeah, I would have phasered the guy already.
You don't have you can literally just transport him away. I mean, but
Yeah,
it's good that they're giving
yeah,
they're giving her a chance to convince him, but I mean he can't be convinced.
the dramatic through line of this episode is the push and pull between Kara and the old guy. So even if I wanted to phaser him or just transport him off the planet, that would defeat the
What
purpose of
the
the entire
fuck?
episode.
The old man just like went fucking rabid.
Why didn't she jump in front of him? She had
That guy who
time.
just shot him, he was in the TNG episode.
Yeah. Oh, now they can do that. Look at that.
Because Kira's holding off throughout this episode, and if I remember correctly, she goes as far as setting his house on fire to get him to leave.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The episode is Coming of Age from TNG, season 1, episode 19.
Mm.
The actor's name, I think, is Daniel Riordan. Riordan. Yes. He played Turbo Man in Jingle All the Way, by the way.
No way.
Yeah. The
Wow,
TV version of him, right?
Look at that fun fact.
He's actually an actor who could have played Superman in the 80s.
Huh. What are you children gonna do with land?
This is all very childish. They don't know
Yeah.
what they're doing. They
No.
ain't gangsters. But I like how Nog's like, this is who I am. I might as well embrace it.
Yeah, but the
It's
thing
like
is,
it's almost instinctive, and like it's like this is the way my father and my uncle are, and this is like what I've learned. And even his attitude toward women in the show is like, holy shit, dude! Like, whoa, no, you roll. Like, I understand. Like, if you're a person who goes from planet to planet, like you kind of have to like bend the knee a bit wherever you are, because you may not agree with like whatever. It's just like if like a I don't know what level of tolerance you would have, what you would accept. Like,
yeah,
who would go on a vacation to Kronos? What human like what would be interested in that type of thing?
Nobody.
Would there be vacation spots for people in other planets? Like, does Ferenginar have like, come humans and spend your credits or whatever, or give us your latinum, and we'll adorn you and all this. But Rise is the default, right? Like,
Yeah.
Rise is their default like go-to place for anybody to relax.
Yeah, but I have no doubt that if the Ferengi consortium or whatever the hell they're called, they would have like, I think they would be smart enough to buy a sector of space and just convert like different pleasure planets for different species to make profits on both ends of this stick.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
I think Rise is overrated from what we've seen of it. It doesn't seem very interesting to me.
It just looks like a California beach somewhere. It's like doesn't even look as good as Hawaii. I mean, and it's usually just sets and stuff. It's not really
Bit
an
of
actual
rain.
place. I think DS9 is the only place where you see like actual outdoor shots on like a real beach and stuff or whatever.
The pilot, emissary, when Cisco and his wife are walking on the beach, that had to be a real beach.
Oh, that was, yes.
Yeah,
It was just like around the corner from the studio.
right.
It's gonna give her a day or two.
One thing that I really enjoy about um, Star Trek Deep Space Nine, among many things, is Avery Brooks' performance is so understated in 99% of the conversations, but when he needs to ramp it up, that man can reach a level like not like nobody else I've ever seen before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Is
think
is that he has an excellent speaking voice, and it's something that like I wouldn't say Scott Bakula has the best captain speaking voice. His voice is kind of like nasally, I think. Or the same thing with Janeway, who's a great voice. But like Picard and Cisco in particular
Mhm.
have fucking like that gravitas, as they say. Anyway, sorry, Robbie, what were you saying?
I think Avery Brooks never fully adjusted to television acting, and he kind of maintained his theatrical style when he was on TV.
Well, he was always mainly a TV actor, though.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
He came
No,
from
but
a.
I'm sorry, BJ, but
Oh, go ahead.
if you think about that, his theatrical background works very well with Deep Space Nine because if you look at it, Deep Space Nine in many ways is like a play like in certain episodes, right? It's not very it's not like the Star Trek of today, to use a really weak parable.
Mm.
I don't know.
Yeah, he was on a show called A Man Called Hawk for Jesus only one season, 13
Mhm.
episodes. But he was before that he was in a show called Spencer for Hire, which that character comes from Hawk, and
Right.
he was in a movie called American History X, which he's very good in. But
Def-
goddamn, if he's a hard actor to find in films,
yeah.
and I think like a lot of Star Trek actors, maybe like he did a lot of theater work. I don't really
Hmm.
know a lot about Avery Brooks, especially now. Like what he's doing now is a kind of a mystery. The last anybody's ever heard, Sirach Lofton said that he's apparently he claimed that he's been blackballed from Hollywood.
Okay.
Whatever that means, I don't know.
Yeah.
And
No,
Sean
and
Connery.
the
basically is he's blacklisted. So basically, no studio that's reputable in Hollywood would work with him for whatever reason. At least the explanation that Jake gave is a whole lot better than that one that we got from one of our friends a couple months ago. That was terrifying.
do you think he was
Uh,
maybe blacklisted because he was apparently quite difficult to work with?
I've heard that kind of thing. They're frank about it in the What We Left Behind documentary about how he would kind of be. I can't remember what the woman said, but not a. I'm not talking about like a level of difficulty, like he's a bad guy or anything,
Hmm.
but just
He would
I
use
mean,
like
there's
method acting
yeah,
or no?
but I don't know. See, that's the thing. I just like we can only guess, and to see him pop up in Star Trek again somehow, I don't think will
Right.
ever happen. I think the way he ended the character, the way the character ended, it's almost best left to the imagination.
Hmm.
Like, did he come back or whatever? And like, or is he just like a non-corporeal entity? Is he dead? And like, you don't know.
Mm. I mean,
It's great that we can appreciate his performance here, though.
yeah. I mean, from a story aspect, the ending of Deep Space Nine is beautiful. It's bittersweet, like Robbie said when he wrapped up his Deep Space Nine rewatch not too long ago. But if I was writing the episode, uh, I wouldn't have had him complete his destiny, which was hinted at in the pilot.
His last official paid work that I can find is no, I mean like in terms of television or any kind of like is a voiceover thing in 2001 for an IBM commercial. But since then he's done theater, and the last thing he did, he played the role of Paul Robinson in Shakespeare Theater in 2011.
Oh, okay.
And the last feature film he was in was 15 Minutes with Robert De Niro and Edward Burns.
Huh.
And that was 2000. That was 20 years ago.
Wow.
He did narrate some a Bible's Greatest Secrets series on American Heroes Channel in 2013.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to like see. Yeah, man, it's hard. It's hard to
Yeah.
That's
tell.
a great scene. Cisco, saying it's not so comfortable on the other side on the uniform.
Mm.
Do we know if this old man had any conditions before he got shot by the phaser, or do we believe that this is all happening because he got shot by the phaser?
I just assumed he didn't have the medical equipment to keep himself healthy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, is the phaser shot aggravating whatever he might have had? I don't understand why. Did I miss something? Why can't Dr. Bashir go down there and do something? But I don't know.
I
Yeah.
think this is this night shift for Deep Space Nine? I'm not sure.
And why can't she, as someone who has access to technology?
Mm.
I think they're keeping it kind of archaic for dramatic reasons.
If Deep Space Nine was a modern series, I think we would have had quite a few flashbacks of Tarek Noor,
Mm.
for Akira having nightmares.
Mm.
Would you think? I mean, do you think that would have enhanced her trauma, or do you think that would have made it less special?
Wait, how much time did she spend on Deep Space Nine before it was Deep Space Nine?
Um,
Was she a little girl in that place? And I can't remember.
she is a little girl. In I think it was Tarek Noor, because in that episode when she goes back, she sees herself as a little girl, but that's in the kind of mining um
Okay.
area.
So she probably would have been on it at some point, but never actually like stayed there a long time. But her mother, it's weird. There was a lot of shit going on back then. I mean, you know what? If there's ever a backstory to a character that would be just truly compelling television if done right, it would be Kira Nerys.
But
Because like her story is hardcore, man. It's like Worf doesn't even the stories that Worf has told, which are some of them are ridiculous, like fighting giants and stuff. But it's crazy. I don't know. I would
yeah,
say
like
Kira has the most interesting backstory.
yeah, like a mini series based on her experiences before she got to Deep Space Nine would be
You
great.
know what? It would be better than reliving Khan again, which they can't seem to let go.
Mm.
Like, let's do something with Khan. Let's
And,
Khan this
and
and Khan that. If it's not Khan
and
directly, it's an ancestor. It's like,
and
okay, Khan Khan was
and
done right in almost 40 whatever years ago. 40 years ago.
leave it alone, right?
Leave it alone. do if you want to revisit a character, give us something that we want to see about the character.
Mm-hmm.
Just do a poll. Like, what legacy character
Mm-hmm.
would you like to see a backstory done in a series? I bet you Kira would be up there.
Mm-hmm.
Cisco definitely. Picard would be there, obviously, and like, oh, Data. How was what were Data's early years like, or something? Tasha Yar, for fuck's sake. Tasha Yar would be like really messed up too.
Wow. Okay.
Like, it seems like I wish Tasha and Kira could have met. That would have been
an
really
interesting
cool.
conversation. Okay,
Yeah.
where does he get all these access tubules with, like, or does he just have one that works for everything?
I found Tasha Yar, Ensign Ro, and Kira to be all kind of similar.
Yes.
But here's a question for you, fine gentlemen. Let's say that we do get a Kira miniseries. Would you be okay with uh, anybody writing it other than Iris Even Bear?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's great if the original people always come back,
Right.
but I mean, whoever can do other people can do it justice as well. I mean, it doesn't have to be.
Right. Ira, yeah. No,
But let's just say tomorrow, which is October 31st, Halloween. Happy Halloween, everybody! They announce the Kira Nerys miniseries. They can. I would fucking be so down for that. I can see people being like, "Huh? What? Kira Nerys? Who's that again?" But they would have to look her up because I mean, the casual person
viewers
doesn't know
don't
who
know
Kira
who.
Nerys is, and it's a fact. Like, they probably, if you say Picard or Data or something like that, they'd be like, "Oh well, that's Star Trek or Star Wars or whatever that star thing is."
Mhm.
But anybody else, it's like
Who?
there's a lot of people that they don't know about that we love and grown up with.
And we've learned to appreciate as we've gotten older. For my 2 cents.
Yeah, I did not like Kira Nerys as a child. I thought she was prickly and unengaging. Like, I didn't understand any of that Cardassian. I got it, but it's like, oh well, this isn't the adventurous sci-fi TNG-ish kind of Trek I was looking for at the time.
Mm-hmm.
It was, a lot of stuff went way over my head, to be honest.
Right. That's why I keep saying I'm so grateful I came to 90s Star Trek when I was an adult, and I didn't necessarily experience all this stuff when I was a kid.
Like, this episode to me as a child was not my cup of tea. It was just talky, and when they shot the old man with the phaser, it was like cool action, and then the rest of it's like, okay, I don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the only ones I can remember in season 1. You have Duet, you have this one, Move Along Home, Grand Magus.
Yeah, this has the pacing of a TOS episode, where it's like one particular idea or concept, and yes, they do have the B plot with Nog and whatever, but this could easily be a half an hour story.
Yeah.
This is a shorter story, kind of pulled out to a 45-minute format.
She's had enough.
Yeah, the audience has had enough. You know what I mean? Like, I think that was the point. I think they build it up to a point where you're like, the writers even know, like, okay, We're
here
almost
we
at
go.
the we're almost at the end point now. What can Kira do to fucking like spur this old man into like realizing
She can
your
burn
time's
down.
up?
Yeah, she can burn down the house. Do you think? Do you think he has house insurance? Sorry, guys.
I love how the home is so flammable in very specific areas.
Yeah.
It almost seems like a very technical way of setting a fire. It's like, here are the parts where the gasoline is. It should, I'm not saying like, I don't say I have expertise in starting fires, but I mean, I know it takes a little more. But just for theatrical and time purposes, that's the way it's done. It's like in everything where there's been an explosion, in any movie or TV show where an explosion has occurred, there are random things on fire that never stop. They never go out. They'll be in a shot and like they're meant to burn for like 4 or 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. And you'll always see it in the background, just random debris on fire.
Right.
Kira has an amazing amount of empathy. I mean, she cares so much for this person that she's only spent a night with.
It's crazy how that ended, though. It just fades to black with the fire behind her. It's like, good, because we've waited long enough for this old man to get the message.
Yeah.
I wonder how where he went to after leaving.
That's
I kind of like episodes that had no need for a denouement. It's like climax, boom, fade to black.
Yeah.
There's no like after thing where it's like, well, that was an ordeal, wasn't it? Yes, we've learned a great lesson today. Exterior shot, fade to black, credits or whatever.
Oh shit! Sorry, guys.
All right, guys. We're at the 47-minute mark, and you know what that means. We got to end it. But I want to thank you so much. It's been an interesting conversation. And until next time, folks, live long and prosper.
Thanks, guys.